FORA.tv. The world is thinking.
Important attributes. So these are the attributes of an X Prize. Large cash purses. For us, the $10 million is not the reason teams do it. The $10 million credentials this in the minds of the public as something that is significant. I had teams that would literally go out before the Ansari X Prize looking for money for their spaceship. People would say, those who had never done a space deal would look at it and then run. Those who had actually invested in a space deal would run before they even heard the... X Prizes have clear, objective, and simple rules. They target an area that's stuck. They define a problem and not the solution. So with the Ansari X Prize, it was get 3 people to 100 kilometers. We didn't talk about kind of propulsion, whether it's what type of launch system to use. It was get it there. Our goal is to attract maverick thinkers wherever possible. One of the notions that has hit home for me is that the day before something is truly a breakthrough, it's a crazy idea. If you stop and you think about that fact, the problem is that governments are resistant to funding things that can have a very public failure. But unless you're funding things that have a high probability of failure, your chances of actually funding things that are true breakthroughs are really small. Large corporations are worried about their stock price plummeting, and you end up really with entrepreneurs and mavericks which might go after these prizes and are the last people who might ever write an NSF grant. So we say to people, I don't care where you're from, where you've gone to school, what you've ever done before, you do this, and you win the money. And the goal for us is changing the paradigm. In addition to that, one of our goals is making heroes out of the team. So we are, for example, on the X Prizes we're up right now, we're in negotiations with the television networks to focus the spotlights on the teams as they're competing, which allows them to go out and raise more money and spend more money, which provides more leverage for the prize. We build what we hope are ideally telegenic prizes that drive PR, educate the public. Other thing that we have done traditionally, and this is what Stuart reacted to, was we dial the difficulty of the prizes to be winnable in a 3 to 8 year time frame. The goal being if it's won in less than 3 years, it was too easy. And if it takes longer than 8 years, people in this generation don't really care anymore. It's outside their time horizon. And for me, it's the issue of encouraging people to take risk. I had a situation occur when I was giving testimony just before the X Prize was won in Congress, where I had a congresswoman stand up and say, Dr. Diamandis, isn't it true you're causing people to risk their lives and someone may kill themselves going after this prize? And I said, yes, that is true. And I said, and thank God that it is true, because 500 years ago, thousands lost their lives crossing the Atlantic, and 200 years ago, thousands of Americans lost their lives crossing the Great Plains, and it would be un-American to stop them from risking their lives for the greatest exploration humanity has ever undertaken. And she withdrew her question. But we are killing ourselves in this nation by how risk-adverse we have gotten. And so for me, being allowed to take intelligent risk is a very important thing.